Hey guys, welcome back to another Wizards 101 video. I'll be doing Marleybone now, and we'll also try to make the video a little longer than 10 minutes because my Krakatopia video was way too short and kinda hard to follow. I might start doing tutorials, like maybe a crafting tutorial or something, but I'll save it until later on because I think questing is pretty fun right now. I'll talk more about it at the end, but until then, let's go. I just want to start off by saying I finished Marleybone like a whole week ago, and I just got around to editing it. The thing is, I haven't been all too busy, and I could have done it a bunch of times, but I didn't. I wanted to, but I couldn't because something's wrong with the working part of my brain. From now on, hopefully, I will start recording and editing both within 2 days. That's my plan. I hope I can stick with it. But if I suddenly stop uploading, I want you all to know it's my fault and no one else's. Anywho, I began my journey in this new world by talking to Clancy Pembroke in the Royal Museum. According to the story, one of the exhibits contains the Croconomicon, which is the source of some pretty powerful life and death magic, which we need to get before the villain Malistaire does. I'm not sure why we can't just take it. I think if we explain the situation a little better, we probably could just make him, fork it over, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. By the way, make sure to pick up the Zeke quest. A lot of the cats are in some tricky locations. He says something about rules and sends us to talk to the mayor, because apparently only he has the authority to make such a decision. We talked to the mayor, who just completely blew us off. He tricked us into investigating the O'Leary gang, which I guess is the complete criminal enterprise of the Marleybonian region. He said if we stop them, he just might consider our request, and if you've played the game before, we end up being too late anyway. Sherlock Bones sends us to Hyde Park to talk with a Miss Conrail, who had some more information about the O'Learys. She explained that there was a gang member on the inside named Baxter who was willing to snitch, and that it was our job, since we were a wizard, to go extract that information. She sent us to meet him at the fountains, but we were ambushed instead. It was an easy fight, despite the fact that I fizzled twice and drew an empty hand. I went and told Miss Conrail, and she sent me to search a couple warehouses in case we found him there. The game wants you to fight these guys, but if you mark a spot or log out when you enter, you don't have to do squat. We came up empty and reported back to Miss Conrail. She thought for a moment and sent us to fight Willie Marks, who most likely knew where Baxter was. We smooshed him, and he gave us the location, the old Hyde Park fraternity house. It's there where we saw Baxter getting stolen, which I guess means they know he's a snitch, I think. Now, I'm not an expert in gangs or the, criminal code, but if they know he's a rat, and they literally have him in their clutches, shouldn't Baxter be dead already? I may not know much, but I do know snitches get stitches, am I right? Anyway, we beat up the metal man guarding the fraternity house and went back to tell Sherlock Bones. I then realized the metal man and the O'Leary gang were two separate organizations, which kind of answered the why is Baxter still breathing question. He told us to investigate in Chelsea Court, where one of his little birds, Miss Marfley, had recently reported seeing metal men by Chelsea Tower. We went to the clock tower but didn't have the password, so Miss Marfley sent us to William Pugsby, who knew a lot of unsavory people and owed Miss Marfley a couple favors. He reluctantly helped us. He told us about Shakes O'Leary, the person responsible for changing the password, and that if we beat him up, we'll be able to get the real password easier. We followed his instructions and reported back. With the password changer out of the way, we just had to find the actual password that was up at the moment, and to do that we had to beat Timmy Icepick, one of the higher ranked goons. That would be one of the first people to have received it. Sure enough, Timmy had it. We let William off the hook and reported back to Miss Marfley. We then snuck into the clock tower using our newly acquired password, and we beat up the metal men that were there. Baxter was there too, which was hecka lucky. I still don't know what the metal men wanted with Baxter, but we got him back anyway. Sherlock Bones called us back to congratulate us and told us to meet him at 221 Barker Street to talk to Baxter in private. Baxter explains that one of the gang leaders named Pops O'Leary is up to no good at the Ironworks, and that we need to investigate. Now this is the first dungeon of Marleybone, and since I'm a low-level fire wizard, I decided to team up to make it easier. There's nothing wrong with that. I could solo it, I just don't want to. I ended up getting two reliable partners, a myth and ice wizard, who were both really good actually. I won't go into the dungeon specifics, but we did fight a bunch of people, including the optional boss, Old Smoky. I ended up playing the support role, which is kind of weird since I was fire. I spammed that choke spell I thought I would never use, and I shielded a bunch. The one important boss we fought was Pops O'Leary, and honestly, Old Smoky was harder. Make sure y'all get the cat for Zeke while you're still there, because I know nobody wants to have to do that whole dungeon again. We uncovered that Pops was going to partake in a prison raid to release a certain someone. It was now our job to go prevent it. We went and talked to Watson on the Scotland Yard roof, who sent us to Newgate Prison, where the raid was actually taking place. Also, when did this teleporter start existing? I walked my dumb butt up through the tower like some chump and ended up falling behind my cool myth questing partner. Like, for real, what was this new or something? I've never seen it before. Anyway, I made it up there and found out that, oh no, Marleybone was helping the criminal mastermind Meowie escape. They did end up getting away, unfortunately. We got tricked into fighting a couple guys, though, which sucked butt. I don't know what the point of all that was. In conclusion, he escaped, and we went back to tell Watson. I'm not too sure what the point of Knight's Court is. Watson says we need to free up some detectives so more people can work on the Meowie case, but our mission over here is so off topic I just hate it, which is why I'm not talking about it. Yay! We somehow figure out this guy named Katzenstein is involved, and that he is the one making the Metal Men, and we have to go fight him in his lab. Notice here my gear and mount are way different. This can be easily explained in a couple of different videos I'm working on, so if you want to know how I got all this cool stuff, check the description to find out. All the videos that will soon be out are down there. Anyway, Katzenstein's lab is full of fights that don't really matter, so let's just skip those. There were 2 combination puzzles we need to solve, and a smoke puzzle where you need to turn off some smokestack chimney things in order to advance. We were finally at Katzenstein. I collected the cat and we beat up the boss. I killed the minion with an immolate, my teammate weakened the boss with a skeletal pirate, and I finished him off with a bird, which was kind of ironic since he was a cat. There is a boss in there called Smogger that you could fight if you wanted to, but I didn't want to, so we didn't. We talked to Katzenstein's slave, Grunk, and he told us how to make a Metal Man who could tell us where Meowie was. I'm not too sure how that works, unless Katzenstein has, like, I don't know, a GPS in all of his robots and Meowie had a bug or something on him. It doesn't really make any sense. Meowie was camping out in Big Ben, so we went to tell Sherlock, who was waiting for us in the Royal Museum. Meowie had already barricaded himself inside, so we had to go enable or disable something in the counterweights to allow passage. It wasn't all too clear, and I'm just now realizing that Marleybone isn't all too clear, actually. Okay, pay attention because it's strategy time. A ton of you experienced players already know this, but for those of you who don't, you can completely skip these 2 counterweight dungeons by doing the following. 1. Get a teammate. I already got one, so on to step 2. 2. One of y'all joined the first fight. That was me in this instance. 3. Teammate pulls the lever. 4. Teammate waits on steps. 5. The fighting person flees and teleports to teammate. 6. You skip the fight. Congratulations. Rinse and repeat until the final boss. That's what we did. The boss wasn't bad. Both dungeons are like exactly the same, so we're moving on to Big Ben, the final dungeon of Marleybone. There are 15 floors at Big Ben. Floors 3, 7, 8, 12, and 14 are either puzzles, healing rooms, or mana rooms. An optional boss is on floor 14, and the cat for the Zeke quest is on floor 12. That is the Big Ben dungeon, with Meowie on floor 15. This dungeon took a full hour for me to beat. Not because it was hard, but because halfway through my first run, I accidentally clicked off the game trying to press my friends list. I don't play in full screen, so that was 100% my bad. This second run, I was more careful. Me and this storm guy I found completely destroyed the first 14 fights, optional boss included, and finally made our way to Meowie. I traded my teammate a couple strong storm treasure cards I had, and we started the fight. It was rough right from the beginning. I fizzled the spell I needed to kill the minion, and for the next couple rounds we got pounded on hard. We killed Meowie with a Tempest Immolate combo, and killed the life minion soon after. Don't pay attention to my OP life friend here, he didn't do squat. He just kinda sat there. My storm teammate finished off the death boss, which officially concluded the Marleybone storyline. Malistaire got away with the Krakenomicon, and our goal for now is to get the Dragonspire Gate Key so we can go stop him, which means the next world is Mushu. But we'll do that later. Thanks for watching. Like I said at the start of the video, I might do crafting videos, but they won't be like normal crafting videos. It'll be a direct, step-by-step, how to get reagents for each recipe, like all of them, the best spots to farm. I thought that was a pretty good idea. I might do that. Maybe separate video, a crafting recipe, or maybe just a whole thing for everything. But yeah, when I have that made, I'll link it in the description. But if you ever want to help me, leave a comment or message me through my Discord in the description. I've also got some other videos linked there, so check that out too. Anyway, here are the cat locations, and thanks for watching.
Malastair has the Croconomicon and said he was going to Dragonspire?